Hello there. My name is Tope Ogunfayo, and it's such a great pleasure to come your way again on a day like this. And hey, if we have not met this year, I think it's a convenient point to say Happy New Year. Or maybe I should say it the way I would rather greet people. Normally, I tell them Happy New You and a Happy New Year. Why do I say that? I say that because really there is no Happy New Year without a Happy New You. Let me say that again. There is no Happy New Year without a Happy New You. Really, as we come into a new year, people are greeted with a lot of, excitement, euphoria, and all of that. And they forget simply that yes, it's a new year, but what's really changing in the year is just the figures, right? So 2023 is changing to 2024. The truth is that nothing really is going to change around you except something first changes inside of you. So if there is no Happy New Year, if there is no Happy New You, I don't think you really qualify to have a Happy New Year. I hope that blesses someone. So really, first and foremost, Happy New You, and then a Happy New Year. And you can apply that to different seasons in your life. It's not just really when you are going into a new calendar year. That can be applied to season, when you're changing seasons, you're moving from one location to another, you're moving from one job to another, you have new opportunities coming in the horizon. You can use that as a principle to say what is going to change first inside of me before something else will change around me. All right, that's just my way of saying welcome into a new season, welcome into a new year of your life. This today I would like to share a few thoughts as we introduce a new series, which you're going to hear a lot about in the coming days. It's a series we have put together that we have themed Begin with the End in Mind. Begin with the End in Mind. And you're going to hear a lot of very deep stuff from seasoned speakers, seasoned professionals in different aspects of life. I mean, you're going to hear about what does this mean in the area of faith, what does this mean in the area of wealth and fitness, what does this mean in the area of building money, of staying healthy. How does this affect you in relationships, in friendships, and all other areas of your life? And in the coming period, you will be hearing from wonderful guys, beautiful speakers that will be sharing their thoughts on this theme. What I want to do today is to just lay a foundation of what does it mean to begin with the end in mind. And that's a beautiful question, I think. What does it mean to begin with the end in mind? To begin with the end in mind means having a vision, a mental picture of where you want to go, and most importantly, of who you want to become when you arrive there. A lot of people just think that beginning with the end in mind is just a picture of where you want to go. That's important. That's actually the crux of the matter, having a mental picture of where you want to go. Okay? But I have added as well, who do you want to become when you arrive there? When you have that mental picture before you start pursuing that vision, then you can be said to begin with the end in mind. Don't be like the little Johnny ants that I read about the other day. So ants were filing and moving in one direction. The last ant touched the one in front of him and said, "Johnny, where are we going?" And then Johnny looked at it and said, "I don't know. I just saw everybody moving and I'm moving along with them." I hope your story will be different from the story of Johnny the ant, where you're not just going to be moving because people are moving. You're not just going to be relocating because everyone is leaving the country, right? You're not just going to change jobs because that is what is reigning, right? You're going to do it because you have the end in mind. You are You're beginning your journey with a mental picture of where you want to go. So my question to you today is, in most of your endeavors and the things you're doing, do you have a bright picture of the end in mind? You know, according to Dr. Stephen R. Covey, the author of the book Seven Habits of Highly Effective People, he spoke a lot about this principle of beginning with the end in mind in one of the chapters. And he said this, and I really love it. He said, all things are created twice. All things, everything you see in life, everything you see around you, they are created twice. He said, first, there is a creation in the mind, and then there is a creation in the real world. There is a creation first in the mind, and then there is a creation in the real world. The creation in the mind is a very important one that needs to take place before the physical creation. The creation in the mind is what is called the mental picture. The mental picture, right? And then, hopefully with time and with resources and with commitment, that creation of the mind becomes a physical creation. So please note, the physical creation follows the mental one. There is no physical creation without a mental creation first and foremost. And this principle is even found in the story of the creation of the world. This whole world, first and foremost, started as an idea in God's mind. Anything you see around you started as an idea in God's mind. So anything you see around you started as an idea in someone's mind, which means there was first a mental picture before the physical creation. And you can look around you for several examples. Let's take an example here that is very common. Imagine trying to build a skyscraper without a blueprint. How successful are you going to be in that venture? I mean, somebody just wakes up one day and says, look, I've got money in my bank. I know engineers that can build, and I'm going to assemble the best set of engineers all around the world. And you know what? They are just going to start building a skyscraper without a blueprint. So we're going to figure out where the rooms are going to be. We're going to figure out where the bathrooms are going to be. We're going to figure out where the dining is going to be. We're going to figure out where the offices are going to be as we proceed. We would adjust on the go. Have you seen such before? I think that's going to lead to a lot of delays. That's going to lead to a lot of rework, and that's going to lead to a lot of wastage. Why? Because that idea was not first in the mind before it started physically. They have no idea of the end in mind. That's why no matter how small or how big a building should be, the first thing that people do is to first build a blueprint. You build a blueprint. What is the design of the house? Where is the bathroom going to be? What is going to be the shape? Of course, you can then adjust things as you go, but you need to begin with a blueprint with the end in mind. A wise man has said that no matter your speed of travel, it is useless without a destination. And I believe that. No matter your speed of travel, it is useless without a destination. I believe I'm speaking to someone who is listening to me today. My question is, have you clearly defined your destination in your mind? Are you clear where you want to go spiritually? Are you clear what is the end in mind when it comes to finance? Could it be that the reason why you are struggling financially is because you don't have an end in mind? You don't have a mental picture of where you want to be, where you want to go. That is then, controlling the habits, your thoughts that you have in the present. You don't have a mental picture. You're just moving. You're traveling at a fast speed, but without a destination. I think the best such a person will get is that you will land in the wrong place, and most of the time you become frustrated, you become delusioned. You're like, this is not where I really want to be, right? Another way to say this is to ask you a question. Is your ladder perhaps leaning on the wrong wall? Are you trying to climb a ladder that is leading on a wrong wall? And I see that in our world today, because many people have not sat down to begin with the end in mind, to ask themselves what they really want to do, where they really want to land, and who they want to become when they get there. They find out late in life that they've been pursuing someone's dreams, someone's vision. Their ladder has been leaning against the wrong wall. So guess what, folks? Guess what, friends? Sometimes they will eventually get to the top of the ladder, only to realize that they are not fulfilled, they are not happy, they don't feel what they thought they were going to feel when they get to the top of the ladder. So it's a lot of disappointment, and a lot of pain. This will lead to futility if you're climbing a ladder that is leaning on the wrong wall. You're exerting a lot of energy, probably a lot of resources, only to realize, oops, I'm doing the wrong thing. Yeah. So, and Stephen Covey also told us that if you don't take charge of the first creation by yourself, which is the mental picture, guess what? It will be done for you, because you cannot create physically without a mental picture. So there are two ways the mental picture can come. Either you create one for yourself, right? So you have a mental picture for yourself, or whether you realize it or not, other people are creating this mental picture for you. They are setting the standards for you. Your parents and family, they are setting the standards. They are creating a picture. You may not know, it's subtle, but they are creating such a picture. Your friends are creating such a picture for you. Your teachers are creating such a picture for you. They have an idea of who you should become. They have an idea of what you should do. But it's not your vision. It's not your own dream. It's not you beginning with the end in mind, right? Economic realities, government, policies, politics, environment, all connive together to begin to give you this first creation, this mental picture, if you don't own it yourself. And my friend, if you allow circumstances, if you allow friends, teachers, economic realities, government, politics, and policies to determine the end for you, you have all men the most miserable. You have all men the most miserable. So you're building according to a blueprint that you cannot own yourself. At the end of the day, you may realize that that's not where you want to be, and that's not what you want to do. Right? So that's what it means to begin with the end in mind. To begin with the end in mind means to have a mental picture of where you want to land, where you want to go, and who you want to become when you get there. And why is that important? Why is that important? It's important because having the end in mind gives you some clarity. It gives you some clarity. It gives you clarity on what you can do, what you cannot do, how you can move, on which road to travel. You know that there are some mental pictures that once you have them, you know where you're going. There are some people you cannot move with. There are some roads you cannot travel. There are disciplines that you need to have in your life because you have a mental picture of where you're going. So it gives you clarity. The second thing it gives you is it gives you efficiency. It gives you efficiency because, again, as I said, you know where to exert energy, you know where you shouldn't. When others are doing certain things, you then ask yourself, should I be doing this? Does it lead me to where I want to go? And does it get me closer to the person that I want to become or not? If not, you don't waste your energy. You don't waste your resources. Others may be doing it, but you cannot. Because beginning with the end in mind not only gives you clarity, it gives you efficiency. It tells you where to put your resources and where not to. If the blueprint is showing that I want to build a skyscraper or office complex, the kind of resources that we go into that is different from someone that wants to build a self-contained bungalow. There are things that a self-contained bungalow, the resources that we go towards that will not parallel those that we go into a skyscraper. So depending on the blueprint, there are resources that I must exert, and knowing where that is gives me some sense of efficiency. And finally, it gives you a sense of purpose, gives you purpose. So beginning with the end in mind gives you clarity, it gives you efficiency, and it gives you a certain sense of purpose. You're not missing in action. You're not just living. You're not just existing. You have purpose in mind. You know where you're going. You know what you're doing. You know where it's going to lead you. And so there is a strong why to begin with the end in mind. Now, let me wrap up this conversation by talking about how. So we've talked about what. What does it mean to begin with the end in mind? I've made a reason for why: clarity, efficiency, and purpose. Let's talk about how. Let's talk about how do I begin with the end in mind, or how does that process start to work to lead me to where I want to go. The first suggestion actually comes from Stephen R. Covey, and I'm quoting him a lot today because he did a lot of work here. Stephen R. Covey advises to start with a personal mission statement. To start with a personal mission statement. A personal mission statement, a philosophy, a personal constitution that defines what am I about? What is it that I am about? What am I about? It's important. That helps you to begin with the end in mind. What am I about? And then how do I go about this? What am I about? It's important. Where are you going? What's your personal mission statement to say, look, I'm doing all of this for what purpose? For what reason? What is it that is about me, and how do I go about it? That's where I would advise everyone to start, to where you want to begin with the end in mind, to start with your personal mission statement, your personal constitution, or your personal philosophy. However, that's not where I want to lean in today. That's not where I want to zero in today. The second thing that you should do then is to assess your current situation and design a path forward. What does that mean? You know where you want to go. You know where you want to be. You've written a personal mission statement that defines a destination, so to speak, right? And then you assess your current situation. You know that this is where I am right now. So in as much as I want to build a skyscraper, in as much as I want to become a person who owns several skyscrapers, today I have nothing. I have nothing in my bank account. So it's important to then assess your current situation, and that will humble you. That will let you know where you are right now, right? And the gap between where you are right now and where you really want to go. And those gaps can show up in different ways. They can show up in terms of skills. You know that, look, compared to who I want to become, compared to where I want to be, I'm lacking certain skills. I don't even know how to do XYZ. I need to build skills, right? It might also help you to realize that you need to build relationships. Maybe the gaps are relationships. Look, I need to know the right people. I need to work with the right people that can help me then get towards my goal or the picture that I have by beginning with the end in mind. Sometimes it's about exposure. Yeah, so I might have the right skill, maybe I have the right relationships, but I don't have the right exposure. I don't have the right network. Hopefully my relationships then gives me the opportunity to have this exposure to opportunities, to other people, to things that are happening around me and around the world. Sometimes it might be qualifications. The gap might be qualifications. So I don't just have the requisite qualifications, requisite skills to land where I want to be, or to become the kind of person that I want to become. So you start with a personal mission statement, personal philosophy, personal constitution. You then assess, what are your current gaps, and you design a path forward. How am I going to close these skill gaps, these relationships gaps, these exposure gaps, the qualification gaps, and other kind of gaps that I might have around me. Where I want to pivot today is on the third how that I really want to pivot for the next couple of minutes. And it is about, fully committing to closing the gaps and becoming the person you want to be. So you're fully committed. It takes full commitment to do this, guys. It takes full commitment. And one way to show your full commitment is to stop your old habits and to start new ones. Is to stop your old habits that are not helping you, that have not moved you forward, and to say, look, here are the gaps. Here is where I want to go. I have a picture, a mental picture of where I want to be, right? And I want this mental picture to show in the realms of the physical. So I want to close the gap between what I see mentally and who I become physically. And in order to close the gap, I know that I need to be fully committed. To be fully committed, I need to then develop habits that would help me get the kind of outcome that I want to get and become the kind of person that I want to become. It's all about habits, guys. Earlier this year, I started reading the book again. I'm rereading the book Atomic Habits. And, I strongly recommend that book if you have not read it. Atomic Habits by James Clear. I think it's a classic. It's a classic in showing how committed you are to your goals, to your vision, and to the mental picture that you have of yourself, what you want to do and who you want to become. Now, in the book, the author said that the quality of our lives depend on the quality of our habits. And I agree with him. I believe him. The quality of your life will not move beyond the quality of your daily habits. It's a given. Whatever you do on a daily basis will stick with you. It will change who you are or who you want to become and the outcome that you get. In fact, he said, and I quote, and I believe him strongly, that your outcomes are a lagging measure of your daily habits. Your outcomes are a lagging measure of your daily habits. What does that mean? Far before you see the outcomes in your life, a daily habit regimen, so to speak, has been formed. So when you see the outcome, whether you like the outcome or not, you should first trace back to the process. The process of getting the outcome is the process of forming habits. That's the process of getting the outcome. Let's take, for example, the outcome of being overweight. You are overweight, and I hope you're not, but in case you are, maybe I'm challenging you. The outcome of being overweight, right? Being overweight is an outcome. You don't focus on losing weight, and all you want to do is, just get on the scale every morning. So every morning you're getting on the scale, and you're like, wow, I'm getting overweight. I'm getting overweight. The only thing that will cause is depression, right? That's an outcome. What to do is to then trace it back and say, what is the process that has led to me being overweight? What are the daily habits that led to this outcome? Daily habits of eating. What are my eating habits? Daily eating habits. What are my daily sleeping habits? What are my daily exercising and fitness habits that has led to the outcome of being overweight? Right? Let's give another example. Let's talk about financial habits. So you don't like what's in your bank account. Now, by opening your bank account several times a day does not change what you have in it. I wish it does. Some of us would be multi-millionaires by now because, the speed at which you open your account is like you're expecting a miracle to happen somewhere. No, it won't, because what you see in your bank account is an outcome. It's an outcome of a process. And that process can be defined by your daily habits, your daily spending habits, your daily savings habits, your daily investment habits. What you see in your bank account or in your stock account is a reflection of that. What does that mean? If you don't like what you see, whether on the weighing scale or in your bank account, there is one way to change it. The way is to go back through the process and to say, what are the habits that led to that? How do I change those habits? What are the new habits that I need to form to get the kind of outcome that I want, an outcome of a fully fit person, outcome of a rich person. What are the daily? Rich people have daily habit, folks, right? Fit people have daily habit, folks, right? Wealthy people have daily habit, folks. They have. And that's the process that leads to the outcome. So my challenge to you today is, if you don't like what you say, what habit are you going to face? Are you going to change? Are you going to stop to become the kind of person that you want to become and get the kind of outcome that you want to get? James Clear said in the book that success is the product of daily habits. Success is the product of daily habit, not once in a lifetime transformations. I know that doesn't sound good to some people. Some people wish that success is dependent on once in a lifetime transformation. Something just happens, bam, like that, and you become successful. Someone lays hands on you like that and you become successful. You go to a program and someone says, I like you, and then dumps money in your account and you become successful. While that may happen sometimes as God wishes, that's not the norm. That's not the way life is built. Success is the product of daily habit, not once in a lifetime transformations. My advice to you folks, friends, anyone listening to me on this podcast is, don't wait for these once in a lifetime transformations, because you may wait for a lifetime. Let me say that again. Don't wait for these lifetime transformations, because you may wait for a lifetime. I would encourage you rather to do transformations on a daily basis. What are my daily habits that will then lead to a lifetime of transformation? Right? That's important, right? So again, I know many people set goals for themselves this year, as they've been doing every year. It's amazing. But goals are good for setting direction, but systems are the best for making progress. If you really want to make progress, you need to build systems. You need to set up systems. And the way to set up systems is by looking at your daily habits and confirming that your daily habits can lead you from where you are right now to the end that you have in your mind. A wise man has said that you do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems or to the level of your habits. Goals are great, but you never rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems or your habits. And I can tell you for free that very few things, have a more powerful impact on your life than improving your daily habits. If you want a very smart way to improve the quality of your life, to improve the results in your life, to improve your outcomes, who you want to become, where you want to go, the way to go is to focus on your daily habits, And this works in all realms. That's what I've seen. You want to become a spiritual giant. You want to have a relationship with God or with your maker. Daily habits of meditation, daily habits of praying, daily habits of the study of the Bible. That's it. Every day, right? You want to become fit. You want to become healthy. Daily habits, daily eating habits, daily exercising habits, daily sleeping habits. You want to become wealthy. Yes, you need a wealth mentality and all of that. And then you follow that up with daily habit of spending, daily habits of saving, daily habits of investing, and what have you. You want to build relationships, daily habits. You would improve your life you will improve your life quality disproportionately if you improve the quality of your daily habits. And James Clear was telling us that there are 3 levels of behavioral change. I wouldn't have time to go into that. You can focus on changing your outcomes, what you get out of it. You can focus on changing the process, which is your habits. You can focus on changing your identity, which is who you want to become or what you believe in. I love the last 2 because a change in process will lead to a change in identity. So you want to change what you believe, who you become. Change your daily habits. Change your daily habits, and I think that's powerful. And that will help you. So apart from you're beginning with a personal mission statement, you are assessing the difference or the distance between where you are and where you want to be. The very important thing to do is to become committed as you come into a new season. Whether that change of season is just this new year for you, you're changing jobs, you're changing location, you're beginning something afresh, you're starting a new business, whatever a change of season looks like for you as an individual. My call to you today, my challenge to you today is you need to develop habits that will support that change. You need to develop habits that will support that change, that will make you become the kind of person you want to become, or that will help you get the kind of outcome you want to get. If you want to learn more about this, I'll recommend again the book Atomic Habits, and I'll recommend that you read the 4 laws of behavioral change, which is make it obvious, make it attractive, make it easy, make it satisfying. I will not have time in this conversation to go into that, but what I will tell you again as I start to wrap up is that the outcomes you are getting are a lagging measure of your daily habit. So if you don't like the outcome, you've got to change it. You've got to change your habits. Your habits are either leading you towards the goals that you have at the back of your mind, the mental picture, or they're leading you a bit far away from it. So we talked about beginning with the end in mind, what it means. We talked about why that is important. It gives you clarity, gives you efficiency and purpose, and we talked a bit about how. I want to leave you with the thought of how am I going to steer my daily habits to move me in the direction of what I want to accomplish or who I want to become. Again, you might be going through different seasons of your life, or you're about to come into a change in season in your life. Your daily habits would help you to get some form of stability and to become the kind of person that you want to be. So why don't you focus on that? Of course, feel free to connect with us, to contact us if you need help on taking this a bit further, advancing this conversation, and knowing how to transform your habits in a way that they would help you fulfill your visions, your dreams, and your goals. And we'll be happy to help you. Hey, I cannot wait to hear the other speakers in this series. As I said, in the coming days, a lot of people will be coming, speaking about different areas of life, spiritual aspect, health, and wellness and fitness, wealth and making money, finances and all of that. And they will be talking also about relationships. As you come into a new season, how will all of this help you and how can you plug it? And I'm sure that you are going to benefit a lot from all the things you're going to hear in this series. Okay, I will need to leave right now. I'll come your way again. I don't know when, but maybe sometime soon in the future. Until then, keep winning, keep reigning, and remember, your outcomes are a result of your daily habits. So if you don't like the outcomes, look at the process, look at your daily habits and change them. All right, stay blessed and bye for now.